There are very few better ways to jumpstart your budget each year than a no-spend challenge. We're taking it a step further this year and having a no-spend year. So if you'd like to hear why we're having a no-spend 2018, stay tuned. Hello everyone, my name is Nicole from theladypreferstosave.com.
This is Daniel from tipsfromthebearcave.wordpress.com, soon to be tipsfromthebearcave.com.
And today we are sharing with you a few reasons why we as a family are starting a no spend year challenge today, the first day of January. So if you'd like to hear our 3 reasons why we are starting this, here we go. This idea started actually several years ago in 2015 when on my blog, theladypreferstosave.com, I needed to make a few changes and I wanted to go more in the direction of savings and less of spending. In other words, I wanted to have a whole lot less couponing and sales posts, and I wanted to really move in the direction of intentional spending. So in 2015, I came up with the idea of not having a one-time no spend challenge, but to do it every other month for the year of 2015. This was not a new concept even then, because in 2014, I had taken the Ruth Soukup from Living Well, Spending Less challenge twice that year. And so in the next year, I just did it every other month, and we saved quite a bit of money. We actually cut our spending by another 8% overall at home, and we were able to save up almost $6,500, which went into several funds that needed to be funded that year. And so it was an awesome, awesome success. We learned a lot as a family, and we were able to thrive and really expand what we were able to do and not spend a whole lot of money. It made us more sustainable and really helped us set ourselves up, which we then used those lessons in 2016 when we became minimalist. And so that's kind of where we are today.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, basically the 3 reasons to do a no-spend month, and actually we're going to take this to the no-spend year, is it makes you accountable for every dollar that comes into the house. A lot of times what will happen is if you don't make yourself accountable, then say you have a bad day and you just don't feel good. What's the first thing a lot of people do? They'll go out and one thing, they won't make dinner. So they'll go out and buy dinner. And they might go out and get something that they don't really need. Just it's almost like purchasing happiness, and it never lasts long. It's like any kind of thing you do to fill an empty space, it just doesn't fill. So what we're doing is the first thing is making ourselves accountable for everything has to mean something, right? Because we're not going to spend the money on it, then it means that we have to actually be very particular in what we do.
And intentional in every dollar that we spend.
Mm-hmm.
We're having a zero-based budget. Every dollar has to be allocated, whether it be to savings or, of course, monthly bills or expenditures that we know that we'll anticipate throughout the year.
Another thing that does is by not having those expenditures, that freedom just to spend willy-nilly whenever you feel like it, it means that the things that you have to make the biggest impact. So we're going to actually be able to go out and enjoy the free things in our neighborhoods that we would overlook, because if you can spend 20, 30 bucks to go out to a movie, why would you go do the free movie at the older theater downtown? We have a really great, it's called the Temple Theater. It's a revitalized 1920s, 1930s theater. They put on free movies on Saturday. And it's older movies. It's not like the new blockbusters have just come out, but it's part of the revitalization of a historic landmark. And to be able to go in that theater for free and help them by putting warm bodies in the seats is a really great way.
It helps
save money, saves a foundation.
It helped, and it's a foundation effort. And the really nice thing is the last Saturday of each month, they actually will open up both the mezzanine level so you can actually sit in the upper deck seating, and you can also listen to their organ accompaniments.
Mm-hmm.
And that's just really, really nice. And especially during October and Halloween, they'll play a lot of the classic black and white horror movies such as Wolfman and Frankenstein and what have you. And they'll actually take it back to the old school reels where they are silent movies and you'll hear the accompaniment in the front, and these are all free to our community. And it's just it's a wonderful thing to have in such a small town that we live in.
Oh, yeah.
That you have this resource available, and there's a lot of things that are going to come up through the year, so we're really going to rely a lot on what is offered to us on our Chamber of Commerce and our local historic society. And luckily for us in this day and age, All of these programs are populated because of Facebook, and everybody has a group and a tab, and so we can actually look on there and plan out our calendars based first on what's free and then kind of go from there and of what we need to do. We're also going to rely on the library for movies and books and audiobooks and the Overdrive app and free movies on the Vudu app, and just a lot of resources that are really going to pay dividends. A lot of free books on Amazon, free Kindle books. There's thousands of free books. There's thousands of books in the public domain on Gutenberg.org, and so we're really going to utilize a lot of those resources this year.
And that's the thing. By not having the money to fall back on as a crutch, it kind of makes you go out and reach out for things that you normally would have just looked over and said, well, I'm not just going to put the time into it. And you actually find some really, really great avenues to get what you want and not have to spend any money on it, you know?
Another thing that we've decided this year is we will not be buying any new small appliances, major appliances, or tech gadgets or items. That includes items that would be upgraded, for example, my blog or this channel, my live streaming, and my soon-to-be coming out podcast. We have already made sure that we have enough equipment to accommodate those needs, and we just won't be buying any more this year.
Yeah. It also means make the use of what you got. And sometimes people I have friends who go out and buy the latest iPhone, you know, and just because it has a new emoji, a new little app.
Spend hours in line and take a day off of work.
To spend $300 on something that costs iPhone maybe 20, 30 bucks to make. And then you have to worry about now iPhones come out and they've actually been forced to admit that they've slowed down the earlier versions of their units when new ones come out, simply so they can increase the rollover. So all this isn't working as well as the new iPhone. I have to go out and get the new iPhones because iPhone is slowing down your iPhone.
We want to really get down to intentional living. We want to set a family example for the little and the fuzzies and the neighbors and family and extended family to, we just don't need more and we don't need extra. We're going to continue with all of our family traditions. We're just going to scale them down a little bit. We're going to continue next holiday season with a 4-gift Christmas. We will, of course, have certain things that we have to buy. For example, back to school clothes in August. We will have to have some school supplies, but I've already allotted funds for that. They're being bookmarked, and so that will be okay to spend. We'll, of course, have to pay for our monthly expenditures. We will have to pay for insurance. We'll have to pay the difference in insurance each year because, as Daniel is a teacher, state workers have to pay the increase each year for all of their different insurance policies. And so as that increase goes up, we will have to incur that come this year, but we've anticipated that. And the way that we actually schedule out our budgeting is to sit down, and what we do is plan the year in advance. We will take the calendar out, and anytime that we know that an expense is going to come up, we'll average what that expense was from the year before, and we will allot that into what we have to spend. We're not going to consider that an extra because we know that it's coming. We've planned for it, and we're okay with that. We also have included money for, we have this year, between all of us, 5 dental appointments that are scheduled. We will all have to go and have our eyes examined this spring annually. Vaccines and flu shots and things before school in the coming year. And so there will be expenses that we have to incur. We will have to have rabies and Bordetella shots for the fuzzies. We will have to have grooming appointments for my Shih Tzu. And so we've allotted that in too. Beyond that, and beyond, say, groceries, that's probably about it.
Yeah, that's it. We're going to do a lot for each other. It's going to actually make personal time more of an important thing.
We will continue with weekly date night, but it will either be a free activity in the community or at home.
Yeah. An idea also is, if you have, like our house, I'm sure your house is the same way, there's things that you've put into your house that have made it your home. And a no spend challenge like this will make you really evaluate what you have in your house and come to appreciate what you've already built up. It's not the fear of missing out, the FOMO. If I don't go out and spend money, I'm going to be out. You have probably a lot of things in your home right now that make you happy. And it's just about taking the time to enjoy what you've already done.
And so just to recap on this part of the video, the reasons that we are going into this challenge is because we have a few new long-term savings projects that we would like to start funding. We also are saving for potentially moving in the distant future, not the near distant future. We would like to perhaps downsize to a smaller, more modern home, and so definitely we are funding for that. We would also like to perhaps travel in the near future, and we are actually looking between if it's something that we want, perhaps a tiny house or an RV or something to that nature, because we have family out of state, and it would be a lot cheaper to have something like that available to us than having to travel and get hotel rooms and things. So that's something that we're also thinking about. And how we'll be able to do that again is we are going to have a cash-only structure. Anything that does have to be purchased will be purchased with cash. We will be utilizing a zero-based budget each month and a cash envelope system. And we will be using this channel for public accountability in order to get that done. We're going to sweeten the deal by utilizing a lot of free resources in our community and online. And if there's anything that we haven't been able to do, or should a situation arise, we will of course opt to upcycle first, make from scratch second, and then of course the third, if it's something such as clothing, we're going to go secondhand first. We won't be entertaining any kind of fast fashion. We won't be buying anything new if we can at all help it. And so that's what we'll be doing.
And you'd be surprised. I've gone into our local thrift shop and found unused, top-of-the-line clothes for school, dress shirts, things like that, jackets. And they would just be completely overlooked if you just said, well, I'm not going to go in there. They can't possibly have anything I could use. And the money goes to charity. One of the main locations we go to actually supports the orphanage here in our hometown. So it's really important to do that, because not only are you getting good clothes, cheap, very like a fraction of what you'd spend in the store to get, but the money usually goes out to some local charity. So you're doing good, and you're doing good for your wallet as well.
And most importantly, we will be able to help encapsulate all the things that make our household run a little bit better. We believe in a non-consumerist lifestyle. We believe in upcycling, zero waste living, and minimalism, and a plant-based diet. And so we're hoping that all of these changes will help us cement our beliefs and kind of make things a little bit easier. Some people try to put you in this exacting little box about what all those terms mean, and so we're still working out some of the details with it. So we hope that not spending money will give us a lot of time to contemplate the direction that we want to move our family in the next coming years. And so we're really excited about this challenge and everything that's coming from it. And the best part is we want to take all of you along with us on this journey. And so as we spoke about earlier, we definitely will be posting on this channel as a form of accountability. And by that I mean I will, on Mondays, be starting with my meal planning and meal prep strategies, as well as sharing how much I spend at the grocery store. I will be going into what I'm buying at the grocery store on the weeks that I'm buying, and the weeks that I'm not buying, I will be sharing what I already have on hand from my pantry, so that you can kind of see, if you were to emulate what we're eating, how much that would cost you in your area. I'll also be sharing if I use any savings apps or gift cards or anything like that, just so I have full disclosure with everyone as to how much I'm spending in terms of food, because that is one of our biggest expenditures throughout the month. We will also, be listing in the description bar below a couple of resources that you may be able to use, including free budgeting sheets, software that we use, which is free to download, or the desktop version. We will also be sharing with you my other no spend challenges from my blog, so definitely look into those resources. I will be starting in the next few weeks a podcast that will be devoted to everything that we're doing for this no spend challenge this year. And today I have started a brand new Facebook group all about this 2018 No Spend Year Challenge. So I invite you all to come in. Let's build a community and save money together. I am super excited about this. I am also listing below a few other YouTubers and bloggers that I know that are wonderful, wonderful people who have a great heart and stewardship for all things financial. So I will be listing them below for your resource and use as well. So guys, that is why we are starting a 2018 No Spend Year Challenge. Also, remember, this is something that you can easily jump into too. Even though we've put a little bit more thought into this, definitely see if perhaps you could do a no spend month or a no spend week and build your way up. It's never too late to turn the financial train around in your own home for whatever your bottom line and your reason may be. And with that being said, I would love to hear if you've done a no spend challenge yourself at home, or if you'd like to jump in on this with us, or perhaps maybe just one aspect of not spending this year. I'd love to hear all about that below. Remember to check out the resources, as well as if you haven't subscribed, I would love if you would join our community and subscribe to the channel, turn on notifications so you don't miss any videos. And as always, like to let us know that you loved it. And as always, please be kind to yourself and to others and have a wonderful rest of your day. And happy New Year, everyone. Thank you so much for watching and have an awesome rest of your day.